Hey guys, I'm not feeling too great at the moment, but I'm feeling okay. I've got a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a bit snuffy, that's the reason why. Uh, this is the list I've been playing most recently. I did really well across 4 leagues. I managed to go um, 18-2 across getting 2 trophies across my first 4 leagues with this exact list. Since then it's gone a bit worse. Since then I've had some 1-3 drops, some 0-3 drops, a 4-1 and a 2-3. So not great since then, but the 18-2 record was really good, and I'm feeling really positive about this list after being a bit meh. I did a lot of testing with the chill list after I did the last video, and I didn't do so well in a challenge online. I decided to try out chills to try and beat Rug with lots of cages. I ended up deciding that I didn't like the list very much. Did a bit of thinking, came to this. What have we got? We've got the non-chill lists have basically coalesced at this point around a specific build. Basically, there is one Lotus Petal, one Hogak, or 2 Hogaks, but generally 1 Hogak, 3 or 4 Icarids, 3 Putrid Imps, 2 Studies, and then the last slot, which can be like a Wraith. I was using second Careful Study, but here I've seen second Lotus Petal, but here what we've got is a 4th Putrid Imp. Why have we got a 4th Putrid Imp? It's good against Cage, it's good against Delver in general. It's just an all-round decent creature. It helps in some of the tougher matchups, and sometimes it just gets there. And I've been really liking it. I went back up to the 4th Icarid. I was on 3 for a long time. I don't think you need 4 Icarids. I was doing perfectly fine with 3, but I have been liking the consistency of hitting Icarid more regularly by having 4. I was having a few too many games where I was just getting bad dredges and then not being able to do anything because I just wasn't hitting the Icarids. It's also good if you bottom an Icarid, which happens quite regularly. I think this deck is very built, able to deal with Rug Delver, which is the main deck in the format right now. If we go over to the sideboard, what have we got different? 5 answers to Leyline. I've been liking 5. 5's not necessarily required. You can do 4, but I've decided that I like the 5th, I think, unless the meta changes. At the moment, with the amount of Leyline, I think 5 answers is good. Nature's Claim's just a good flex slot. I've considered making that a Chain of Vapor. Chain of Vapor might actually be a good possibility just to bring in as a one-off against Black-Red to answer Cage. I've also considered splitting the Leyline of the Voids to like 2 Leyline of the Void, 1 Macabre, just because people expect Leyline from Dredge now, which gives you some equity because they won't expect Fairy Macabre. So people don't like having too much discard in versus Dredge, and Black-Red won't check you before going off. They'll just try and mull or a quick hand and go off. So if you keep a hand with Macabre and just get them, you can just basically win the game. I considered doing that, but I'm not doing that here. The main change we've got is 2 Ingot Chewers. And this is supposed to be an answer to Cage from Rug Delver. I've never had it happen, and I have had it annoy me in that I wish it was one of the cards that I sided out rather than the Ingot Chewer. So far it's not been running too well, but in theory this should answer Cage from Rug. It also has some use against Moon Stompy, or like decks running lots of crypts, though I'd rather bring in the Leyline of Sanctities. If it's like a heavy artifact deck, I could see it bringing in but honestly this is just here for rug with cage and decks with lots of cages, but mostly rug. That's what we're targeting with these ingot jewels. So yeah, let's run this through a league, see how it goes. Alright, round 1. If that petal was looting, that'd be good. As it stands with no dredger, this is close. This is almost a keep, but I think we can do better with the London Mole. This is a mole. I guess we'll keep this. Right now I'm thinking Sneak and Share. Could be Delver. Okay, that's a great draw. I'm going to lead with Careful Study because I don't want it to get Force of Negation. Okay, now that's been forced, I'm going to lead with Looting. Just in case this resolves, we get wasted and then he has a lot of permission. Hopefully we don't get wasted here and we'll be okay. But you know how it is. Fully expecting this to get hit with the third days, but we might be lucky. Nice. It's really good. Thug obviously the worst dredger, but better than no dredger. If we bricked on dredges there, we were in a bit of trouble, as long as this does not get wasted, which it has not. I hope he taps out so he doesn't stifle me. Hope we don't brick on dredges. We don't, which is great. We brick on if we brick on dredges now, it's not so bad. I'm going to discard a Cabal Therapy just in case we get wasted. I'm going to discard a Thug and a Stimulant. This gives us access to the max amount of Cabal Therapies next turn. This also gives us an out if they do find a Wasteland or waste our City of Brass, so it's not stuck with 2 Cabal Therapies in hand and no way to make use of them. Sometimes you have to think about plays like that, because it's tempting just to discard the dredges because you can cast the Cabal Therapies, but then if you get Wastelanded, then you're stuffed. It's like sometimes you need Cabal Therapies to do stuff. Right now I think we're in a pretty good position, even though he's got a 6/7 Tarmogoyf. He chooses not to shuffle, so that means he's either got Force or maybe a second Tarmogoyf. Okay. I'm not too concerned right now. We're definitely in the driver's seat at the moment. Gonna go to 11, but that's fine. We've got 2 Ichorids coming back, which is the important thing. Eat a Putrid Imp. Eat a Putrid Imp. Hitting Narcomoeba there is actually really good. I'm gonna cast them. Actually, I'm gonna cast Hogak first. making sure to eat every single artifact in the graveyard, of which we only have one at the moment, just to shrink the glyphs a little bit. That instantly resolves. My plan now is just to make as many zombies as possible, so that we just kill him next turn. And he scoops it up. That's good for us. Bring in the ingot chewers, I guess. What I've been doing is I've been taking out a thug, because I don't really want to go down a study. Though I don't really like siding out anything here. You could take out a Icarid. Maybe that's better than taking out a thug. But I've been taking out thug breakthrough. But then I've been sometimes screwed over by not hitting a dredge when I wanted to. So maybe I'll do that. I used to take out a breakthrough. Maybe I'll take out Icarid and thug and see how this goes. Oh, I didn't really mention the reason for Ingot Chewer as an answer to Cage over, say, Nature's Claim is because it can't be hit by Force of Negation, and it also can't be hit by Spell Pierce. Also, you can do some cute things where if you're stuck, you can. Okay, this end's really good. You can cast a Thug and then put an Ingot Chewer on top of your deck. That's generally not going to happen, and your opponent can play around that if they're aware of what you're going to try and do. But a lot of people aren't aware of the more cute Thug shenanigans, because it doesn't happen to them too often. So they might just attack him, not thinking about the Thug trigger. It's an easy thing to forget. Okay, so we got caged. That kind of sucks. But I don't think we're in a terrible position here. We've got access to thugs, we've got dredges. We've got 2 plays. Maybe this will be the first time destroying Cage actually comes up. Yeah, I've been hit by a lot of surgicals out of rug, but I've not been hit by many cages since I put these ingot chewers in the board. It's tempting to take a natural draw, but I mean we've got 2 ingot chewers in the deck. And there's lots of good stuff we can dredge into, like we could dredge into ingot chewer for 1. Funny, if we took the natural draw we'd have drawn the ingot chewer. Oh well, happens. Well, I mean we wouldn't have drawn it, we'd have lootinged and then lootinged into chewer, but this is fine. Shuffle off a ponder in this resolving makes me think he doesn't have any. I mean, he certainly doesn't have a daze. He might have force. My next turn play is going to be to cast an Archimedes. Start getting some pressure down. MTGO is being a tad laggy. I think I might restart it after this game. Oh wow, okay. I'll take that block. That kind of sucks, but it's whatever. We still have access to Dredge back Thug, do the same thing again. Okay, that's a problem. I don't think I want to take this block yet. I think I want to wait till I get more bridges in the yard. I want to take Dredge Thug, get lucky and hit multiple bridges like I just did just now. That's exactly what I was looking for. Then draw into a land next turn. I'm just going to jam him with everything here. I'm not scared. If he double bolts me, he double bolts me. I'm more concerned with just putting pressure on. Right, well, Ingoture didn't win us the game, but them playing pretty badly did, I think. I wouldn't have attacked there into the Narcomoeba when I had those bridges in the graveyard. Yeah, I think that was mostly a misplay by our opponent rather than excellent play by us. Ingoture got a force of will out of their hand, but I mean we weren't really casting many spells at that point. But I guess if we're sat there in a stalemate where they can't attack, eventually we'll draw a land, and then we can cast the Thug, and then we can start attacking with the Narcomoeba when we've drawn a land. Not for a while. That's a lot of turns. They'd have probably drawn another Tarmogoyf somehow before then, and then we'd have been in a bad spot. So we did get quite lucky there that they misplayed. Oh well. That's how you win games. Right, round 2. It's Stefanog, known miracles grinder. This is good. I'm actually going to bottom the Putrid Imp here because we've got a plan. Hey! He's a friendly man. I assume he has Force of Will in hand. I can't imagine he'd keep the hand otherwise. Chooses to not shuffle. Punished for not keeping the... Yeah. Punished for not keeping the Putrid Imp there, but it's whatever. That's why we've got 4 in the deck, boys. Counterspell me. Okay. Actually, I think it's correct to keep a mana confluence. Keep a mana confluence just because we got 2 Cephalid Colosseums. Keeping a careful study actually seems actively bad. If he slams Oko here, that's like actually bad. But he's been playing Bant Miracles, which I actually think is the best build. Snap Ponder, yeah, I'm fine with that. This matchup's really one-sided game 1. It'll be interesting to see as well, since we have 0 Silent Gravestones in the sideboard. Partly because Miracles isn't a deck right now. Do this in upkeep so we get to discard the troll before we draw. That means we get to use the troll twice. Did he shuffle off of the Ponder? Chooses to shuffle. Sure. We have hit 0 Cabal Therapies. There we go. That's what we were after. So I don't want him to have Swords to Plowshares, so I'll name that first. Alright. I'm sandbagging the mana confluence just because I don't want him to know what the last card is. It's not a big deal, but is it better to take Ponder or Council's Judgment? I think it's actually probably better to take Ponder than Council's Judgment. I know that means that we'll get our Hogak exiled next turn, but I think the only way we really lose at this point is if he somehow manages to brainstorm into a Terminus and catches off guard. And this also forces him to use his mana this turn to get rid of our Hogak. Yeah, you can exile my Hogak, that's fine by me. Yeah, he knows what's coming. Right, well, let me have a look, see if I can find a list by him, because I don't really know what they're up to now. He's still running Snapcasters, which makes me think that he's probably not got a bunch of rips in the sideboard. But then there's the mentor list going around. I feel like he's on the ban list. The last few times I played him, he's been playing ban, but maybe he's been just deciding that he wants to play. He does not have a published deck list. Wow. Okay. I guess I'll just run it back. I don't really see a reason to change it in this matchup. This is a keep. I actually quite like slow rolling these sort of hands. Does somewhat depend how he plays. It's turn 1, Astrolabe, sure. Well, aim force as well. Chooses to not shuffle. Spooky. Do I just go for this here? I mean, it doesn't really get any better, right? I mean, I guess I could just try and slow roll it. Bad if he slams Rip, good against everything else. If he doesn't surgical knock me, but I assume we are fine. I'm going to do it like this. Which looks a bit weird, but protects us from force of will. And we know we're not going to brick on dredges, so it's not really that big of a deal. I'm going to name Brainstorm. I just don't want my... Yeah. Alright, that was pretty easy. It's been going good so far. Whoops, almost forgot to start recording this. This is a keep. Putrid Imp's amazing. Another bonus thing about Putrid Imp is it's not just a discard outlet. Arguably the best discard outlet. I'm going to sandbag a Grave Troll in hand just in case he's got like crop rotation or something. It's also a creature, so you can sack it to, okay, I mean, if you're going to scoop to that and not have any responses, I think I'm going to side for ley lines. When I side blind against ley lines, I tend to only bring in 4 ley line answers rather than 5, and I bring in a claim over a Whisper just because it's more versatile. I'll take out an Icarid, a Putrid Imp, Thug, Pedal, something like that. Just you want to shave one of each non-required thing. Keeping him Pedal over, so yeah, Putrid Imp's questionable. Personal preference. I don't always do it like that, but there are tells. I'll keep this. This is, I mean, I don't know for sure that he's on ley lines. He's not on ley lines. He could be on cage. Okay, looks like it's Delver. This is fine. I'm just going to jam straight into... Depends what I draw. Chooses to not shuffle. Spooky. Okay, that's like the worst draw. I'm going to slow roll this. Awesome, never punish. could just hit us with a cage and we could be sad. So maybe we should have just jammed, but I mean I assume he has some sort of interaction, or else he'd have or else he wouldn't have kept the hand. There we go, that's why we don't jam straight into it. If he surgicals my thugs, I'm quite happy with that. Thug is like the worst dredger, obviously, so I don't really care if that gets surgical. Great draw. Slam a putrid out. Hope it doesn't get dazed. It gets dazed, I'm sad. If it doesn't, whatever. Oh, 4-color Delver. Yeah, I mean I get a bridge from below token. Sure. Do this to play around days. I'm not going to do anything here because I can protect myself from a second surgical by doing nothing and just holding up Colosseum, because I can activate Colosseum in response to like a surgical here, which seems like the best play, and that means that I can guarantee myself a grave troll next turn. Also with 4 thugs not in the deck, oh 3 thugs, sided one out and he surgicaled it. I think I'm actually going to prioritise getting an alchemy route here, just because we've only got 2 left in the deck. If he surgicals me here it kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. That's a lot of bridges to hit. It kind of sucks, but whatever. If he bolts his own Delver, I'm assuming he's got a second bolt, because he bolted my Putrid Imp quite aggressively, but maybe he was just scared of, I don't know, Putrid Imp's a scary card. Okay, yeah. What's in his hand then? I don't know. Tarmogoyf? Oh, don't care about that card. You can't cast it right now though, so let's go ham. Can't Hogak, sadly. I think it's correct to take the Force of Negation out of his hand. Like, even if he top decks Surgical and Surgical Zikarid, we still have outs here. If we do that, we can Dredge, Thug, get Hogak. One of the worst things that could happen is he top decks Brainstorm and then kills us with that. I'm not going to Dredge this turn. Oh, I ate all the thugs. Oh wait, no, there are no thugs. That's fine. I'll eat the artifacts to shrink Tarmogoyf. I'll just cast this, I guess. Yeah, this game's in the bag. I don't think there's a single card that they can run that will win them the game. Alright, well that was pretty easy. We've been running pretty hot so far. Hopefully we can keep it up. Round 4. Mulligan. Sneak. think hands don't get much better than this. Bottom Hogak, sadly, but it's whatever. With a hand this good, how can you lose? We're about to find out. I'm getting quite lucky with my hands. I played the ones in the league where I went 0-3. My hands were not good in game ones. In fact, they were decidedly awful. So it's nice to be getting good ones when I decide to film one. I sort of decided to film one just because I've been just sort of in a cycle of just playing leagues. I've been playing a bit of Pioneer, playing some classic WoW. I'm on Dreadmist server, if you want to add me or something, on EU. Oh, I should have dredged the grave troll there, not that it really matters. We'd have been one card deeper, but it's not going to make too much difference here, I don't think. Okay, do I have any idea what this goes on? Delver, Snow, Delver and Snow is what I've seen him play. So fair blue stuff, which means I think I'm just going to run it back. He could be playing Snow with Rips. I could bring in a Claim. Sometimes I do just bring in a random Claim just as a hedge. Might do that. I have actually won games with the random one of Claim. I'm going to keep this. It's a weird hand to keep. It's not something I keep normally, but the ability to just discard to hand size. Okay, he's on Cloud Post. In that case, I think I want to know what's going on. I'm going to name Khan the Great Creator, I think. Actually, no, I'm going to name Chalice of the Void. Don't fall for that one. Good thing is that even if he spheres, we can still cast. That's not good. It's a lot of mana. He might have Bog. Normally the colourless decks don't run Bog, but he might well have Bog. If he has Bog, he has Bog. I think more likely he'll go and fetch up something like Iorugan. Yeah, that's the card name I was looking for. And threaten to play a big Eldrazi. 9. Untap. Make another 9, 15, so he can fetch an 8 mana. Walking Ballista is probably the best thing you can fetch. Oh God. Scary. Whoa. Alright. Yeah, I think I'll scoop to that. There's many ways we can die when he's got Eye of Ugin and that much mana in play. Okay, so we know what he's on. We did get a little bit punished, not for just going for it or mulling to a stronger hand. So what do we want in this matchup? We want Dread Return. Take out Nicarid. Future Imp's good. Leyline of Sanctity's good. Future Imp's alright. I think I like something like that. Maybe it's better to. None of these hands are keepable. Yeah, I'll keep this. I really want to keep Ashen Rider, but I can't because of the way this hand is. So I'm going to have to bottom it. I'm going to put Dread Return and then Ashen Rider is the very bottom card. I'm sure I'm going to forget that. Right, that's pretty good. Whoa. Good thing is we can do this. Force that crop rotation. Whoa, even worse. Okay. I think I'm going to sandbag the Cephalic Coliseum. Just because we're definitely dredging. Staying rid of this turn. What the hell's going on here? Why isn't he bogging me? Alright, maybe that's why he's not bogging me. If I was him, I'd crack the crypt here, but I could see why you wouldn't. Alright. That's a strange time to crypt me, my friend. Very odd. It just gets me free therapy on him, Khan the Great Creator, I think. Yep, that's good. That's why you don't let that happen. Just don't let it happen. If he kills this, I'm whatever about it. Like if he wants to spend Ballista to time warp me, that's fine. Not too fast. So his hand is those 3 unknown card. Awful. Ballista. Ping that. Sure. We want to draw Faithless Looting. Oh god, he's getting very close to Kozilek. He doesn't ping this before attacking, I'm going to definitely block. Okay. I'm going to discard all 3. If he's got a bog effect, it's whatever at this point. I don't think we can win. Yeah, just get a Kozilek. Oh god. We still have more crypts. Yeah. I don't think we can win the game now. Because we can't use that. And we can't use Icarus either. Yeah, I'm going to skip. If we knew what he was on game 2, we could have sideboarded for this and possibly won, but our hands in game 3 weren't good enough. That's frustrating. We're undefeated up until that point. almost doing too well in the first game sort of screwed us over there. But yeah, I've not seen that guy play that deck before, and the green one's much rougher than the colourless one, just because they can crop rotate. Right, match 5. Hopefully we can get a full one, that'd be great. Not a massive fan of hands which have only one way to get the dredging going, but we've got 4 lands here, which is pretty good. Which means that worst comes to worst, we can always flashback looting. That was the reason why I bottomed the stink winner, just in case something happens, like he wastes us, and then we don't have any other, like counters us, wastes us, and we don't have any way to get into the game. Is this black red? Bloodstone Mire is a concerning fetch land. I assume not, because why would you fetch up Bayou? I assume that means it is depths, or just a black red pretending to be depths. Shall we find out? Oh god. I don't know what to make of that. Is this the Rock? If the Rock was forced to play cards from only the last 5 years of Magic the Gathering. I guess Liliana of the Veil's like 6 years old now. Him to Torax Vintage. Him to Torax, a great card. Oh, it's Jund. It's Jund. He somewhat fucked himself over there by playing the. Oh, shouldn't swear. No swears. Somewhat screwed himself over there, not playing the land out first. Because he wants to waste me, but he can't. Wow, I ate the Icarid because my graveyard moved. What on earth? That wasn't correct at all. That was really bad. Type both his Plague Engineers, he skips. Sure. So I side for ley lines from Jund. I don't bother bringing him Rider. Putridum's a fine card, but just want to deal with Leyline. That looks agreeable. Please don't Thoughtseize me. Nice. I actually like the play of therapy myself. And go draw. The other option is just to jam go thug here. Which is fine, but this guarantees we get the dredging going. Somewhat tempted to therapy him for leyline here. Certainly a play. I don't think that's a game-winning play though. I'm going to dredge the thug just to guarantee we don't die this turn. We're reaching Ren and 6 ping us to death territory, however, which is a bit scary. Ugh. Again, I'll put Whisper on top. Not what I especially want to. I didn't want to dredge thug there just because going to 2 is so bad against this Ren and 6. Ouch. Right. Don't really see anything to change here. More. Ugh. More. Right, this is good. Keep 1, 2. We might have won just because he didn't hit Leyline until really low on cards. London Mulligan, baby. Right, play land pass. Hopefully it doesn't discard us. That would be the worst. I'm not going to do the Cabal Therapy breakthrough play just because that is really bad if you brick on dredges. I would rather break through X's 1, draw into another draw spell, and you dig further. Yeah, so for example here, we would have been lucky in that we would have hit the Stinkweed Imp, but this means that like if you brick lower down, it's less of a problem as well. It's just good because you get to dig an extra 3 cards, you get to hit more stuff. I find it's more reliable to play like that. It's not to say that discarding yourself's wrong. There's definitely times where I do it, but that didn't seem like the right time to do that. Plague Engineer would be annoying here, but not game ending. Renin 6 is just a nothing. I might actually just dredge a Thug this turn, just to make a bunch of zombies. I think I will name Plague Engineer. Put Whismare on top. The hell's Embodiment of Agonies? I think I care about that more than Abrupt Decay just because it's a creature and it'll annoy my bridges, but I don't really care about either of them. I want to ensure the Ren dies this turn, so I'm going to do that. We don't lose much by sending 2 things at Ren and then the rest at him. Worst card you could have in hand would be like, I don't know, Scavenging Ooze, I guess. Oh yeah, it's Bloodstain Mire. I knew it was Bloodstain Mire. Sorry. I was not paying attention there. But that should seal the deal. Alright, awesome. 4-1 league. A bit frustrating losing that game to Green Eldrazi Post, but our hand in game 3 was not very good. I don't think we saw any good hands before the one that we kept, and yeah, game 2 we could have possibly played it a little bit differently. Like we didn't need to name Chalice, but yeah, maybe we could have made some different plays in the second game that would have allowed us to win, but I don't think we made anything too egregious. Like if we decided to just go off, maybe that would have been better. Yeah, maybe we were a bit greedy in the second game against Eldrazi Post. it's hard to say. Game 3, I don't think there was much we could do. But yeah, all of those other games were pretty smooth, so a good solid league. As I say, this has been running absolutely great. I've been really happy with it. I've been a tad unlucky just today when before I was filming, but I think it's solid. I've registered this in the next tournament I went to, and yeah, like it if you enjoyed, etc. You know, do the things. I don't tell people to do that because I think it's a bit lame, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if this run's good for you. Yeah, peace out.